I'm Jamie.
And I am Austin.
And we're Dennis's sons. Now, many of you, well, we're all here for the same reason, to celebrate his 50th. And many of you would know him in a lot of different ways. Maybe as a boss, a friend, a colleague.
Maybe as your favourite YouTuber.
And some possibly even a lover. We're here tonight to share our stories and experiences of Dennis as a father.
Right. First, little thing you might not know about Dennis. We'll start with something you know about Dennis. He loves to travel, right? His Bunnik tours, big part of his life. He's even turned it into a kind of YouTube career as well. Loves traveling. So naturally, you may kind of think of him as the perfect traveller. You see his Instagrams, you see him sipping his espressos all over the world in different countries. Mostly that's the case. He is a good traveller, but he's not always the perfect traveller. Sometimes he stumbles a little bit. For example, we were in Africa a couple of years ago and we were trying to see the big 5 animals. You know, the famous big 5 African animals. One of them's a rhino, and they're very rare because they've been poached, and it's very sad stuff, but absolutely irrelevant to this story, right? Except for the fact that we were trying to find them. We were trying to spot them, get some photos, and say, tick it off of the big 5. There's one place that we went to that there was a fair chance of seeing them, which is Ngorongoro Crater. Right? And before we go searching for these rhinos, we decide to dip our toes in the local culture, and we go to a nearby town and we find a banana beer brewery. This brewery consisted of a small little tent with 3 very drunk locals and a white bucket. Like a completely normal bucket. It wasn't industrial or anything, just a white bucket. And it was full of this brown, gooey, ominous liquid that had this thick layer of sediment, and we were told that that was the banana beer. And all right, I mean, you know, there's different things in different countries, but then we were told to try some of it. So most of us, Mum, Jamie and I thought, all right, we'll do the kind thing, we'll fake a sip, do the where you, but you smell it, so you kind of get the taste without putting it in you, which is what we did. Oh, this is like beer, but a little bit banana-y. Nice, well done guys, fantastic. Dad, on the other hand, wanted to kind of dip his whole leg into the culture and had like a gulp or 2 of it, which, you know, I really hope it tasted good, at least, because I tell you what, he paid for it about 2 hours later when we were in the Jeep and we were looking for these rhinos in the crater. And he started to feel a little bit upset stomach. And as you do, you try to focus on feeling better and ignoring the sickness and just, rhinos. But it got worse. It kept getting worse, and he eventually had to open the window and spread his DNA across the African plains and all up our Jeep. But then he started feeling a little bit better. All right, we'll keep looking for these rhinos. Unfortunately, then he started feeling sick again. It got to the point where he actually had to get out of the Jeep. And he was just throwing up violently with lions and wildebeest and elephants all around. He was there was no fences, it's not a zoo. And right next to him was a very nervous driver guide who was kind of looking around, hoping that they wouldn't get charged with lions. Fortunately, neither of them got eaten. They're both still alive today. Well, Dad is.
Hopefully
I assume the guide is still alive. He definitely survived that day. We haven't seen him in 2 years, but they both survived that day. At least they didn't get eaten. Unfortunately, though, we had to head back to the hotel. Didn't see the rhino. So my point is, he may seem like a perfect traveller. Mostly he is, but sometimes we're all a little bit clumsy, do some dumb touristy things. In Dad's case, that was certainly the banana beer.
Now. Many of you, if not all of you, would know about Dad's YouTube channel. It might be from his top-of-the-notch, very high-quality flight reviews, or probably the more likely reason that he just doesn't shut up about it. This YouTube channel has kind of formed a very strange dynamic in the household, especially for us two. As Dad now is turning half a century.
50.
Oh, 50
in case any of you are not good at maths.
You're our old man now. You've reached 50. We're young adults, so social media should be our platform. It should be where we shine. But somehow you've completely outdone us, and you're clocking in thousands of likes on your Instagram, hundreds of likes on Facebook, millions of views on YouTube, and tens of thousands, edging on 100,000 subscribers on YouTube as well.
Sometimes, literally, we'll be walking through an airport, sometimes it's not even an airport, and people will stop us and then ask for a photo with how weird is that? Imagine you were with your dad and that happened. Like, it's so strange, and it happens multiple times.
I'm fairly sure it happened in a urinal once, did it not? Urinal, plane, you know, it's happening. But this drive to start a YouTube channel, this new hobby, it does show the kind of person Dad is. It shows that even if he's not experienced, even if he's not that knowledgeable on a hobby, he pushes to success. He really just pushes through, and he tries, which YouTube is a great example of how you did actually succeed. But yeah, it just shows the great quality you have, that you do drive to success.
Yeah, it is very admirable, that quality in you. The last, no, it's admirable, full stop, admirable, great, well done, seriously. Final perspective of the man you know as a friend, as a boss, as a colleague, as an old schoolmate. The final little thing of what this man is like as a father. I'll kind of describe what happens in our house when Mum leaves. So sometimes Mum likes to go overseas. It happens, goes to India or goes to Queensland for a yoga. Originally I was gonna say a yoga retreat, right? And then I practiced in front of Mum, and the first thing, she's like, yeah, the speech is great, but make sure it's not retreat, it's training, yoga training, right? So sometimes Mum goes on yoga training, then she goes to India, whatever. For a week, a few weeks, she leaves the house. And the 3 boys and the 2 dogs, we live harmoniously, coexist peacefully together. Gradually, the mess builds up because we don't have really a cleaning bone in any of our bodies.
We see a mess and we're like, oh, we'll leave it to the next person. But we're all like that.
Yeah.
So it never gets done.
We like to think we help out Mum with the cleaning, but it really shows that we don't. And nothing happens. Anyway, we actually don't have an issue with this whatsoever. We almost don't even see the mess, right? It's like it's not even there. Dad's included in that we don't see the mess until about a day and a half before Mum comes home. And he may walk into the lounge room like he's done, hundreds of times before in that week. But this time is different because he realizes, shit, my wife is coming home in a day and a half and he's going to see the house like this, and this cannot be okay. So something switches in his brain. He completely flips personality. And he turns from this peaceful, fun-loving social man into this stress-filled, cleaning-obsessed robot man who, ironically, instead of actually cleaning, you specialise in delegating the chores to his sons. Yeah. So he might tell you, well, it's relatively kind of equal, the chores we do. He helps out, we help out, and we all get the house spick and span. A lot more common, it's like, Austin, you have to clean the bathroom, you have to clean the dogs, mow the lawn, polish everything, vacuum the whole house, and do it quickly. While you're doing that, I'm going to go water the flowers in the front garden. And do it quick, because Mum's almost home, we've got a couple hours, go! And we let it build up, and then it's suddenly, anyway, look. It's a bit annoying. Being in the receiving end of that's a little bit annoying. I think though, Jamie and I find comfort in it, and we all should, because a man as great as Dennis, who's achieved so many things. He's, as you've said with the YouTube, he's really pushed his boundaries. He loves getting involved with stuff. He's done great things with the business. Very social, friendly man. Still, succumbs to the procrastination that all of us do, and then the procrastination leads into stress when you're trying to meet a deadline. It's just something we all do, and I think it's a bit comforting to see someone as great as Dennis kind of falter in that way as well.
Now, we have been poking a lot of fun at you tonight, so I think it is appropriate, as it is your birthday, or party, just to acknowledge and thank you for the good traits you have. One of them being your generosity. You're very generous. Some of you would know from maybe being recipients of frequent flyer points. Also just spending one-on-one time with him. Dad he's very selfless. Even if he's not feeling up to it, he will take time out of his day to spend time with you, help you. We've found that with homework, throughout schooling, anything. Another one is your relentless support towards us. Whatever we want to do, when I told you I wanted to be an electrician, you were all for it. Soccer, all for it. Guitar, all for it. Gym, all for it. Anything. You've never shot us down. You've always been really supportive, which I reckon is a great trait. So, on that note...
Yeah, basically thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being you. Thanks for being alive for 50 years. Thanks for bringing us into the picture and kind of imprinting yourself onto us, sharing your experiences, all that. And yeah, I hope you have a really special night tonight. Enjoy yourself. That goes to everyone else here. I hope you have a fantastic night tonight. I hope you've had a bit of fun, had a couple of drinks, whatever tickles your fancy. The catering platter looks awesome. And yeah, the dinner will, or the night will continue and get even better. And I hope you have a great time.
I made it.
We got a